Greetings and welcome once again to TFT Tarot for today, Divine Dabblings with Oberon and Banshee, and it's me, Oberon, Mr. O, with my outlook on the emotional exchanges. And it's a reading for love and relationships, things like that. There's a bonus card, see if you get lucky, however you define that. Could be emotional, could be something else. We're going to start off with a meditation from the Universal Love Oracle by Tony Carmine Salerno. I hope everyone's feeling okay. These readings are good for today, from today, August 7th, till next Thursday. That's the 13th. August 13th. All right, and our oracle card for the collective is Answered Prayer. The universe has heard your call for assistance. Your prayers will soon be answered. Expect a pleasant surprise within the next few weeks. Continue to trust and pray, for the universe is listening, and it always answers when called. All right, so that's a lovely sentiment to begin. And as always, I am using the Modern Love Tarot by Ethany, artwork by Lucy Morningstar. So here we go. Like I mentioned, the readings are for the 12 signs of the Zodiac. We start with Aries, and these readings are good for Aries as a sun, moon, or rising sign. So you can kind of, if you know your other data, you can check out the other readings too, of course. We'd like that. It's the Two of Cups reversed, Temperance upright, Justice reversed. Okay, so Aries may be having some relationship situations, maybe somebody you're normally comfortable with, maybe there's a little disharmony or friction, maybe somebody said something and you don't feel good about it, you don't trust it perhaps. You want to work towards balance, but you just sort of feel something was unfair or something wasn't right, something you didn't get. So this may be not necessarily a primary relationship, but it may be an important one. Now, in another matter altogether, will you get lucky? And it's the reversed Seven of Wands. Wands means you'll have to work at it, so it'll happen, but you'll have to work at it. And Seven of Wands says, don't give up. You may find that, you feel like you're out of your league adversity-wise or something, but if you believe in it, you should just keep trying to do it. So that's what I had for Aries. And I heard that little plaintive meow in the background. That was Shadow, the Wonder Cat, so to speak. So we're going to move on to Taurus, then Sun, Moon, or Rising. All right. Ten of Wands reversed. King of Cups upright. Five of Swords reversed. So in some ways you're moving beyond some burdensome obligations that maybe are caught up in a relationship of some sort or a friendship. Maybe time is worn on. In some ways, I think you're trying to be magnanimous and kind about all this. You know, the King of Cups. Maybe you're just trying to mediate your way through this. But the Five of Swords says this was a time maybe to get away from a relationship that probably had some hardcore issues going on. They could have went towards abusiveness, or just basically people having at it with each other. And so it seems like it was an obligation that needed to be released. At any rate, will Taurus get lucky? It's the Eight of Wands, so Wands means you'll have to work at it. But I guess it's saying if you have a target and if you have the energy to really move yourself towards that focus, it's possible. And of course, I'll mention again that getting lucky has a personal meaning for you yourself. It could mean the obvious double entendre, you know, boom, boom. But it could also be talking about other kinds of emotional happiness or joy that happens when something you maybe didn't expect or didn't quite expect works out. So here's to that. And we are moving on to Gemini then. Sun, Moon, or Rising. And the Ten of Wands appears again, but upright. King of Cups and Eight of Wands. I'm going to go with it. It's different enough, perhaps. So for Gemini, emotionally, you're feeling overburdened at this time, and you're feeling like you can't really cope. There's more for you to do. And this is making you maybe particularly short-tempered and not emotionally fun to be around. It could be your fault, but it's just mostly the way you're reacting to things right now. And in some ways, though, this makes you feel like, you know, you're also that out of sorts that you can't really pursue a worthwhile goal in a way, that you're just really too unfocused. You're dealing with too much. Is it possible you could get lucky? And it's Swords. It means no. And it's Five of Swords reversed. So it's a real bad situation of that sort. And I'm not sure. I guess I need to shuffle a little better. So let's move on to Cancer. Sun, Moon, or Rising. I want to give them a good shuffle. All right, once again, Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Three of Wands, reversed. Seven of Cups, upright. Seven of Swords, upright. Two sevens. Something sneaky could be going on. But first, Cancer may feel like they need different opportunities to consider. They're not happy maybe with the ones that are in front of them. And we're talking about, you know, emotional things. So if you're already settled in a relationship, it may be just talking about mutual concerns or interest in that relationship. But for others, it could be about other possibilities for relationships. And maybe now's just not really the right time for you to be able to pursue that. But in some ways, you feel like you have a lot of choices regardless. Maybe you're just not seeing the ability to really focus enough on one. And maybe it's also possible too that something is coming to light that is not very savory, but maybe feels like, somebody was trying to give information and maybe they're really poisoning the well. Maybe it's a rumors, gossip thing. When it comes to relationships, it could very well be something like that. Let me leave those there for a moment. Okay, so will Cancer get lucky? And it's a maybe, it's a good luck. It's the Hermit, and the Hermit's upright, and it's leaning towards the idea that maybe you'd rather just be alone right now. You'd rather not necessarily have a big emotional expression with a person or with a situation right now. I mean, if you're in a relationship, that's one thing, but maybe, you don't have to pursue companionship if you're not feeling it. Just gotta say that. So let's move on to Leo, Sun, Moon, or Rising. All right, Leo. It's the Two of Swords reversed. It's Seven of Pentacles reversed. And it's the Star reversed. Now, the Two of Swords reversed looks like maybe from an emotional point of view, relationship point of view, Leos may be feeling like they're ready to make a move, like maybe they've been waiting too long and they've been looking at things, but they've been passive, and so now maybe it's time to move. And likewise, this feeling seems to be coming also through the Seven of Pentacles. This is saying that maybe, while on the one hand it looks like you could be moving away from a relationship, possibly, the other one says you're definitely focusing on something you have been thinking about or have been trying to bring towards manifestation. So within a relationship, it just could be other projects or other kinds of goals. Without a firm relationship, maybe we are actually finding people moving away from one towards another. And good luck with that, because the Star reverse still could indicate that we're not really happy there, or that we're not seeing where things are really taking us in a better manner. Will you be lucky, Leo? And it's the Wands, so you'll have to work at it, but essentially yes. And it's the Nine of Wands reversed. So Nine of Wands says maybe you're just having some reluctance about the whole thing, about that person or that situation, and if it happens, it happens, but you could be happy either way. All right, we'll move on to Virgo, Sun, Moon, or Rising. All right, it's the Nine of Swords upright, and Judgment is upright, and the Queen of Cups is upright. So for Virgo, we may be feeling conflicted between our own anxieties and maybe those of other people close to us, and we may feel like we want to lend a hand, but we can't exactly, and yet still it really bothers us in a way. Some of this could be about understanding big changes going on, perhaps in a relationship, but it could just be big changes in our understanding about, where it's going, or what's really going on even. And the Queen of Cups finds that you really want to be good with it, be well with it, be balanced and poised, and not be unduly upset. So it could be saying really that you're finding that peace of mind perhaps by letting things be the way they are, that some people have to work out their own problems. Now, Virgo, will you be lucky? And it's Wands, so you'll have to work at it. And it could be, yes, it's the Ten of Wands reverse. So this indicates that there are some other kinds of emotional burdens or obligations that you need to work through. So good luck with that. And we'll move on to Libra. Sun, Moon, or Rising. Libra, the King of Wands reversed, the King of Pentacles reversed, and the reversed Six of Cups. Holy moly, as someone would say. With the King of Wands and the King of Pentacles reversed, there's kind of like we're not really connected to some of the things we should be able to do. We're disconnected. We might feel that certain challenges are out of the question for us, or are beyond our reach, or we don't feel confident enough about our ability to proceed with them or move towards them. And that could be for those who are looking towards a relationship, or if there's a particular level up in a relationship. With the King of Wands or Pentacles, maybe we're feeling like we can't really handle either aspects of a relationship or aspects of an ongoing one. It just sort of feels like we're not always in touch with what needs to happen when it needs to happen. We just kind of are flunking on that. And with the Six of Cups reversed is the only bright point. It may be a feeling that, excuse me, that we can finally come to some sort of peace or reconciliation with the past. That maybe if some of this was about expectations that were founded from the past, that maybe we work our way through that and realize that that's over, and that we have to deal with the now as it is, especially with our emotional life. So will Libra get lucky? And it's Swords, so no. It's the Four of Swords reversed. And this could be saying that something else is coming back. Maybe you're coming back, and maybe, it's just not the right time because you've been burdened or occupied with other things. I'm not sure about that. We could just look at that as the indicator for luckiness, with the Sword saying no. And now it's everyone's favorite time for Scorpio. Did I do that right, Banshee? All right, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Our first card is the Hierophant, upright. Then we have the reversed Ace of Swords, and then the Nine of Cups. So, whoa, good on you, Scorpio. So, perhaps in this week, you're going to feel really positive about either relationships or about the structures that support them, you know, societal or otherwise. Everything feels like it just has an accordance kind of view to you, Scorpio. But with the Ace of Swords, you may be feeling like there's delays in what you're ultimately trying to achieve. You may feel like this has given you a perspective to play a longer game, perhaps, because you realize that it's not happening in a very soon time frame. But you end with the Nine of Cups, and the Nine of Cups is upright, and that could be indicating that despite this, despite plans maybe wonky, you feel you have enough to keep you contented and enjoyed right now. Will you get lucky, Scorpio? And it's Pentacles, so it'll come with a price. It's the Page of Pentacles, and they are reversed. And the price could be that maybe you have to give up an opportunity to learn something. And it's not like gossip or anything, but like an actual educational experience or something that imparts a certain wisdom to you may go over your head or be unrealized in pursuance of being lucky. Oh, that sounds kind of weird, but that's how I'm going to call it. All right, we'll move on to Sagittarius then. Sun, Moon, or Rising. Okay, Sagittarius. It's the Ten of Swords upright. It's the Three of Swords reversed. No, I'm sorry, it's upright too. Whoops. And then it's the Queen of Swords upright. So Sagittarius, this is a little heavy here. They're all swords, and I almost feel like maybe you've been involved in something legalistic in a way or something like that. You know, there's this divorce thing here. But anyways, and then the Three of Swords and the Queen of Swords. I feel like Sagittarians, there's a chance that something is ending, a relationship is ending, and that there may be some really bad sorrow and pain because of that. And yet at the same time, there's a feeling like the right decision was made by somebody. And that, of course, there's always a little cloud of hope or relief. The door is open. This person is free to go. Even if there's pain, they may realize they did the right thing. And that doesn't apply to every Sagittarian or about every relationship. It could be about something that just is really an emotional point in your life. Will you be lucky? Will you get lucky? It's one, so it would have to be work. It's the Nine of Wands, and it feels like you would really have to project some energy for that right now. You would have to work on really pushing that envelope in a way. So it'll come if you're willing to do that. All right, we'll move on to Capricorn then. Sun, Moon, or Rising. And we have the Ace of Swords upright. We have the Eight of Cups reversed. And we have the Empress reversed. Capricorn, you're really trying hard to achieve something right now. You're pushing your energy towards something, and everything looks pretty good about it. It could be a relationship. It could be something where you just need to find out more before you commit towards that sense of a relationship. With the Eight of Cups reversed, this whole thing could be bringing you to something better in a way. Well, no, actually, I'm sorry, I reversed that. The Eight of Cups reversed says that you're still kind of going to be where you're at in some level of that emotional issue here, that maybe things didn't move forward exactly the way you wanted. Maybe this is about you really taking the time to repair and take care of your own personal life right now and not be as involved with others or other people that, you know, maybe need more from you at this time. Will you get lucky? And it's Pentacles, so it may come with a price. It's the Four of Pentacles, and this could be saying that you have to be pretty specific and maybe even selfish about what it is you really want. Okay, Capricorn. And we'll move on to Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Aquarius. And now we have the Three of Swords, but it's reversed. And we have the Queen of Swords reversed. But then we have the Moon reversed. So we have all reversed. Two of them were similar from the last one. But the Three of Swords reversed indicates for Aquarius that maybe they feel there's a healing going on. There's a recovery, a return from a heart broke in some way. And still yet the Queen of Swords reversed could be saying that although certain decisions had to be made, you're willing to live by them even when you realize that they're not important decisions, or that others really are not understanding them or feel they're wrong. And with the Moon reversed, I think this could be saying that you may find out exactly where other people stood in this situation if they were involved, or you may understand something that maybe contributed to the repair of the situation, more or less is what I see. Will you get lucky, Aquarius? And it's Swords, so it means probably no. It's the King of Swords, and this could be saying that the decision is just against it. Nobody at this time wants to get lucky. Maybe even yourself. All right, finally we are on Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Yeah, I know I said that like I've been waiting to get to it all show long. Maybe. All right, once again, Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Rising. And we have the Knight of Swords, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Nine of Wands. All right, so I think for Pisces, we're very motivated by taking charge of something. We want to finish something, or we want to start and finish something, very much so. And I think that's a further indicated, once again, by the Seven of Pentacles. They're saying this is something that's important to you, but up until now, maybe you haven't figured out exactly what to do or how to do it. Still, there's a sense of guardedness for it, because it may be something where you might have some challenges to that. You may have to be able to meet those challenges on some level. And some of that may involve situations you really don't want to deal with, but you may have to. You may be obliged to. So Pisces, will you get lucky? And it's no, because it's the Five of Swords reversed. Swords always means no. And I think this is saying that whatever that's about, this is not the time. Basically, don't even think about it. I'll just have to say it that way. All right, we are done, and I'm very happy to remind everybody that Happy Hour is back tomorrow at its normal time of 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and for the foreseeable future, it will mostly be Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then you can also watch Banshee's Material Matters at 10 a.m. Sunday mornings, and that's pretty much set in stone too. And we are live in the chat room for that. It's a recorded one, but we are live there, so it's another chance to connect with us and the rest of our tarot tribe. And also, don't forget to come back for our live stream Sunday afternoon from 2 to 4 p.m. And that's it for this week. We'll see you next time on Oberon's Outlook on the Emotional Exchanges.